Absolutely. I'm
Let's
going
do it.
to post it up.
Let me also tweet it out. Hello, hello, Pin. I saw you coming in.
Hey, Pin.
Hello.
How you doing, dog?
Doing all right.
Good, good to hear.
Make Currently just trying to make sure I'm in the. Oh man, my brother's gonna be doing homework in here, so I think I'm gonna have to find a different room.
Okay, no worries, dude. Today's a
I think I'll go
chill.
cameraless for a short bit, finding a new room.
All right, man. No worries, no worries. Did you want me to get my notebook for the two announced characters, by the way, or do you just want to do game show tonight?
We can do, I
I
want to do a touch on,
Okay,
but not, I want to save them for,
save a deep dive
if
for
we go
later.
too soon. Yeah, if we go too soon, I don't think they hit like they're good for deep dives, like visuals,
Mm-hmm.
but if people have just gone them, they're listening in, they're learning about the champ while messing around and playing, I think that's going to be fun for them if they,
Yeah, I get that.
had the 5 star or something like that. It will connect a little bit. But I definitely think we should talk about them for like just be like, so these two were announced,
Mm-hmm.
and like, you know, hey, so where would they be? Like, where would we know them
Yeah, yeah.
specifically? Like, we could go with like, well, Silver Sable, she showed up in recently in the Marvel Spider-Man game,
Mm-hmm.
and
Exactly.
she's been around for X amount of years, and this and that, and like just kind of leave them be like, but we're going to do more in the deep dive once she shows up in the actual contest. And then we can do the same thing for who is
Negasonic,
it?
teenage warrior.
Negasonic. Yeah, I'm happy it's her. At the same time, she's like it's someone that's cool, but like I wasn't waiting for her in any way, shape,
For
or form.
sure.
Like she's a cool character, but it's also not the Negasonic I know. Like it's the Negasonic the movies did, which I've seen her in 2 movies. But
Yeah,
she's not the Negasonic from the comics,
I
which
know.
is
That's why when
way
we do the
more.
deep dive, it's gonna be very
Yeah,
distinguishing the two for sure.
I mean, yeah. One is got the shaved head and badass and all that, and the other one is goth undead mom, like kind of messed up mental, comes back from the dead. Like she's got so much darkness to her, and like the whole Celine part. Oh my goodness!
Oh yes.
But I don't doubt that we will see possibly her in X-Men. Dude, X-Men,
I know.
Man,
X-Men. We're gonna do a big deep dive on the last 3 episodes when the last one airs. I want to do like all of them, and that's all we're gonna talk about.
I'm so ready.
Spider-Man looks better in '97 than he does in Invincible season 2.
Because he wasn't actually invincible.
Yeah, that was fun. It was fun seeing him. I mean, there was a lot of other moments in that episode that
Yeah.
were bigger for me
For
than the Spidey moment. I
Oh
feel
yeah.
like they knew exactly what they were doing there, and it was just because everybody was going to go.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like I don't. I think that they knew that this wasn't going to sway the meter of getting a Spider-Man show. Like we might, but that's only because this show's doing fantastic.
Oh yeah. And it's over exceeding. It seems like, which I'm happy.
I just
Yeah,
hope they can maintain. We have another season of this that I'm really excited about. That's guaranteed to come out. I know that there's another one,
yeah.
but we
Yeah.
don't know what's happening with that third one. They
For
haven't
sure. For
started
sure.
yet.
Yeah. For sure.
And I mean,
You
he's
know,
still talking about it, but there's no talk of him coming back. So I
I
don't know what's going
know.
on.
I don't know why. Like I see him on Twitter all the time. Like today, just responding to people. It's like,
Yeah,
bro, I love that. Like I'm sad that you're not a part of it still. Like that's insane.
yeah,
But we don't know the
it's really
story.
sad. But that show is continuing to exceed my expectations thoroughly. So you
yeah.
said we're live?
Yes, sir. We are indeed.
All right.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Sorry for keeping everybody a little bit later tonight, but welcome very much. Welcome very much. Welcome everybody to the Summoner Circle. We got Jax and Pin here today. We are
Hello.
we're going to be having a little bit of a game night.
Yeah.
We're
Ooh.
going to talk a little bit about some of the new champions that were announced for this month. Yeah, we've got some fun stuff. We're going to save a lot of the X-Men talk for a giant sized episode of the podcast
Clever,
that will
clever.
be thank you. That will be a full deep dive into the last three episodes. One that has started this week, and the next two coming in the next 2 weeks. But we're so excited to see everybody, to get an opportunity to talk tonight. And yeah, how you guys doing tonight?
Good, good.
Doing all right. I'm
Uh,
doing, yeah, I'm doing okay physically.
Well,
Let's just leave it at
I
that.
mean,
that's fair.
okay. Well, I
I,
mean, I totally understand that. Trust me. Imperative too. I get it.
dude, yeah. I got some stress in my back right now, so I know what you. I
Yeah,
know.
you got some big stuff
Mm,
coming up.
Indeed, I do.
So,
mm.
let's talk a little bit about stuff that we've seen around the net. More and more stuff that's showing up about the Wolverine, Deadpool Wolverine movie,
Yeah.
and some of that stuff looks really exciting. I wanted to get your opinions real fast on another Marvel property that had a bunch of information drop. Have you guys had the opportunity to see the Captain Falcon movie stuff that's dropped?
Okay.
Is there a trailer for that now at this point?
No
I mean, I
trailer,
know there was.
but we
I saw.
have had some stuff.
I saw
I know
some
there's the new
McDonald's.
Falcon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's been some shots since that have come out and like stuff like that that it's confirmed, I believe, that this is the stuff that we're gonna get. Like this is the confirmed
Okay.
outfits and everything. So I wanted to get your opinions on Falcon and all of it. What you think? Because Falcon, I'll say, I think it looks like a mess. It's a rough outfit.
I agree. Yeah. So, yeah, what Pin was saying, like, so they show Falcon, which if you watched Falcon and Winter Soldier, you understood how it ended. Obviously, is it Joaquin, right? Joaquin.
I believe so. Yeah.
He got gifted from Sam the Falcon outfit. So it's obviously to no one's surprise that he is now the new Falcon, just like in the comics. Um, but McDonald's is doing a promotion for the movie right now, and
Yeah.
there are some surprises. I will say, like I heard rumors, but I saw some confirmed, which I think is kind of a shame because we don't have a trailer. And I think obviously because this movie was supposed to come out in July, it would have been trailer time this month because Deadpool would have been this month.
Absolutely.
So Marvel would have obviously switched their campaigns, which is kind of a
Absolutely.
shame. But yeah, I think yeah. So they're going it sucks is when you do Falcon one way and then you're doing the same suit the same way. It's disappointing. I think I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
In the comics, he looks pretty cool. Like I think they took some liberties with his. I really like his helmet in the comics. It's very Falcon.
Yes.
The windshield is
Yeah.
really stylized, and his whole helmet is stylized. But from these shots that I see from the promo art, I'm kind of disappointed. I'm not surprised, but I am
He
disappointed.
looks more realistic. It
Yeah.
looks like they're doing a more 90s vibe than an MCU vibe on some of the costuming. Like his costume specifically looks more utilitarian,
Hmm.
and like what we might actually see a military soldier wear in this kind of situation if this was real, as opposed to like a more stylized, flashy, garish piece of uniform.
Yeah.
But that ruins it because the reason they wear uniforms is to stand out so that they're the targets. Like the whole why do I wear the yellow bat symbol? So
Yeah.
that's what they shoot. Like
Yeah.
it's a whole thing, and it was a little bit irksome because this is already a property that I'm worried about, and I feel like they're not showing love, and it's television show had a rough reception. So I mean, I'm hoping the hype builds up. I want this to be good. You know, I would like to see a return of the MCU in some fashion, not to the height of what it was, but I want them to be good.
Hmm.
And I want them to get, but it feels like this one is, I mean, with the leaks coming out through McDonald's, this is a barrel of mess already.
I know, man. I know.
And then also there was a character shown that wasn't supposed to be
Yep,
shown
I
yet.
know. Exactly.
A little bit of a ruining moment, but yeah. And then I'd seen the helmet for Falcon himself, like for Cap, not Falcon. It's not great. his air helmet is, I guess
Uh,
his Captain America helmet is not great. It's not my favorite. But let's hope the movie is fantastic because you know what, they need a win,
mhm.
and I know that I'm just really excited for some of the properties coming up. Honestly, Thunderbolts is going to be hopefully really good. I'm hoping it's going to be good. There's some really fun characters that are going to be in that movie, but currently I'm anxious.
Dude, for
Um,
sure. Totally agree.
and we've had uh, we've had a pretty interesting week in the game. Previously, we had that big event that came up. We were talking about shortly a few minutes ago, and with the Deadpool, we had a 7-star Deadpool show up. Jay, I don't know if you had a moment to
Oh,
see that.
I did.
Yeah, he was he was a very expensive pickup for people if they wanted to pick him up. He I thought if we were going to see him show up, I thought there was a small possibility with this being a build-up that this might have led into, like, since it was April and we had it, I was thinking like, oh, there is hints that we're getting another Deadpool, like a higher rarity Deadpool. I kind of thought for a bit there that we might have seen the revamp of a Deadpool trophy champ for
Yeah.
the April Fools event and like Deadpool event and all that kind of mixed in, which I think would have justified the release of the 7-star Deadpool a lot more, just giving a usual rarity, and everybody's now got their hands on it. But with that being the case, do you think that with more people now having their hands on Deadpool, I believe he was basically just showing up, like people bought the basic bundle, the Peter Parker wallet, and like you were given crystals and you could open like a 6-star in that crystal.
Oh wow.
Like they were just showing up for everybody now. I don't know if everybody's done them, but a lot of people have now added Deadpool to their roster at a higher rarity than 4-star. Um, do you think we might be looking at something in the works with him, with the movie coming up,
Yeah.
with any of that happening? Do we think that's a possibility?
I for sure
Ma-
do. Like,
I mean, yeah, but not in a buffing the champion kit kind of way. More so an event. I
that
don't
targets
know.
him?
Well, we just had a major event that gave him to everybody, so like
Yeah.
he's much
Yeah.
more around now
Hmm.
than he was
Yeah.
before for the first time ever. Like last year was the first year he was more available than he had ever been, and this year he literally was just everywhere. Like you got crystals where it was only him,
Yeah.
different rarities of him.
And
So like,
yeah.
yeah,
And I Deadpool obviously is probably the most marketed character in all of MCOC. Marvel,
exactly.
like you look at the toys and the statues and the Funko Pops, it's Venompool, and that's because of
Mhm.
Deadpool. Like it is because of Deadpool, and you look at
Yeah,
all the promo art from 2015 and 14, like
yeah. I
Kabam
was
was
gonna say
super.
when
Yeah.
I started playing this game, when the game was first released, I didn't know what the heck I was doing.
Hmm.
But I will tell you something, there were only deals and stuff and things coming out
Hmm.
where get a Deadpool, get a Deadpool, get a Deadpool. There was always a Deadpool. I mean, he is someone that was there's like a thing that went away that I want to ask about online later, but then we'll want to talk about it next week if it's a thing. But he was available to fight regularly every week as like gold pool, and
Oh
like
yeah,
they've
yeah.
done so many gold pools and platinum pools and all these different pools. He like you said, he's the most marketed character
Hmm.
for mostly like Marvel, like just Marvel, and he wasn't even Marvel owned at one point from media in the same way, and they still used him in a lot.
Yeah.
Like they still use him in a ton of comics, and he's Wolverine. You know, it's the same kind of mentality. They're very loved and very easy to put out into the marketplace because they're funny and topical, and yeah. So yeah, that's kind of why I'm thinking it would make sense to make him usable to
Yeah.
more of an extent than he is
I
currently.
think it's coming, but I don't know when because I've always said like if we're gonna do an April Fool's thing or if we're gonna
Yeah.
do when the Deadpool movie came out, we either would have got another Deadpool variant, or we would have got someone related, which turns out to be Negasonic. I think Negasonic's been in the plans for a long time,
Yeah. Well, she
because
was on the wasn't she on the Summoner's Choice or something like that at one point?
no, she wasn't on the Summoner's
No,
Choice,
she wasn't. I don't
but
Okay.
even remember.
I had me and NK, Misty K. We've
Yes.
talked about
Yes.
her being on the the state of the battle map. Because
I
there was a
remember.
Los Mercs for Gold spot, which was like an Unrock spot, but it was a Deadpool pirate house, so of course he would hire his own Mercs, and
Yeah.
Negasonic being a part of the Mercs for Gold, Mercs for money, but Mercs for Gold for Unrock, it always
Yeah.
made sense to me, and then with the movie, it made sense. That's why I predicted her. So I it's interesting because like if they're not gonna do now, if they're done with Deadpool variants, they might as well just buff the original. Like I think hopefully
Yeah.
everyone was the Iron Man one worked out well as like an over exceeding of
Absolutely.
re-releasing a character, but everyone knows these buffs
Absolutely.
are
Yeah.
still good anyways. And that character who's now becoming more prevalent, hopefully getting buffs because if he's no longer going to be a trophy champ, I think it is you if
Time.
people are chasing him, like it should be more than just having him. It should be useful.
Yeah, and honestly, I will say that one of the things. So I used to play Future Fight, Marvel
Hmm.
Future Fight,
Yeah.
and I remember when Deadpool was released in that game. He came in Epic Quest, which you had to buy, and then you had to do all this stuff to complete through, and then you unlock them. It was a good game, fun game at the time. Like I don't play it anymore, but it was one of the most exciting things. Like having Deadpool in that game was so exciting. He was so good. Like he felt like Deadpool. He was fun to play. He was silly, and then they introduced uniform after uniform for him, which upstates their kits and changes them up in the game and keeps the meta. Until all of a sudden they didn't, and they introduced more meme tier stuff for him, and now he's this forgotten character, and the player base is like, "How did you fumble Deadpool?" And I feel like in the game we're playing, they didn't fumble Deadpool so much as just refused to engage in Deadpool.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we don't want to make this the only champion everybody wants to use. Like, this will be the only mutant that anybody will want to use because it's Deadpool and everybody will love Deadpool, just like Hercules, kind of. Like, it will hit the peak character.
Yeah.
And
I can see that.
but I think at this point we have all these characters, and
Hmm.
they're doing so much niche. I don't think there'd be anything wrong with doing an update to the kit now that
Yeah.
he is coming around more often, more consistently.
Yeah, and X Force got one, so like I think,
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
I think that for me I think can show like how X Force can be different because he was quite different than how he used to work.
Hmm.
So I think
I'm very excited to see Negasonic synergies because I
yeah,
wonder what there
exactly.
will be. Because that has been something we've seen in the past. Hey, Negasonic comes in and has give it the equivalent of the Scorpion synergy for Agent Venom, and all of a sudden you've got this completely wrecks everything character in
Yeah,
the game. So that would be really interesting, and it's kind of the only way besides a kit rework
yeah,
to
dude,
do that is just introduce something powerful like that.
absolutely.
Yeah, the only thing I have an issue with that is that I remember one of I think it was either Kabam Mike in the forums or DLL in one of his videos, but one of them said that they have essentially their team has decided to stop making synergies like that Agent Venom synergy.
Absolutely, I know they've
Yes,
said that.
they
Yeah,
they have said
and
that.
Yeah,
yeah, they
yeah,
don't want to make synergies that change everything about a character in such a drastic way. They'd rather change
Yes,
the character because that takes characters from being able to be used in all the game modes. Yeah, and it totally makes sense. I mean, it is kind of a bummer because you know there's nothing more fun than creating the Megazord as your like team, basically like you know picking like your the perfect synergy partners that kind of all combine to make like this overpowered team that you can go run through any content. That for me is
yeah.
so much fun, but it kind of has moved past that way of game anyways for a while now because yes, we've had a few of those synergies, but at the same time, with those synergies being um, being there, very rarely is there a lot of quests where you bring mixed classes a lot of the time. Usually it's you're doing the cosmic lane or the science lane, and bringing a different class for a synergy limits the amount of characters that you necessarily can use to actually complete the content,
Hmm.
which sometimes could be a detriment if you have to build up all these synergies to make one character super broken, but then they die, and then you're stuck with only one character you keep reviving. Excuse me.
Yeah, I think that's probably why I play the way I do with my teams, or did
Mm.
slash do, because I did return recently. But
Yes,
yeah, I focus more on having champs that can take on certain fights than just like I need the synergy. Like, yeah, there were times when I would use my
exactly.
5-star anti-venom in back in the day, before Battlegrounds even, because it was
Hmm.
like, uh, I can't use him in a fight, but he's got this synergy, so I can take this one fight at least.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that does bring characters back, though, and it is an interesting thing. This would be more of a revitalization of a very mean trophy character. I don't think it's like, I don't think it would happen, but if it happened, like, I don't, I think it would work to the point that I don't think they want everybody always using Deadpool. So, like, keeping him as like this synergy champ that needs a synergy to work keeps him from being like the most dominant thing in every game mode in the game. But it's all pipe dreams because I'm sure that that's not on the plans right now. And though I hope it is something they consider.
Hmm. I totally agree.
Yeah,
Um, so I would like to invite you guys to play a game with me.
Mm.
sure.
Jigsaw.
Um, so yeah, so we were just having a conversation about synergies. And if anybody's familiar with me from Twitter, it is something I'm quite passionate about is synergies. I love them. I have a good familiarity with them. But also one of the best parts of these is that they're lore based. They
Hmm.
have a lot of deep comic stuff, other MROC, if it's an MROC character
Hmm.
lore. They're quite unique in the way that they do kind of create this relationship, which is usually pretty easy for people to go, well, that would make sense.
Hmm.
But sometimes that doesn't make sense.
That's true.
So,
And then, of course,
okay,
you've got
Tim.
synergies like Human Torches. Which one was it? Familiar Faces?
Yeah, with Captain America.
It's not comic based, it's different.
Little
Yeah,
reference.
Yeah.
yeah. Very fun reference though, and those are like the little
Yeah.
nods that I love.
Hmm.
So, with all that, I want to invite you guys to tell me ancient hunger is a synergy that exists in the game. Feel
Um,
free to ask
Ooh.
questions. Let's work our way through it.
Ancient Hunger.
Ancient hunger.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Gallon's the first person I think of, but it doesn't. That's the
No.
obvious answer, right? That's the obvious
It
answer.
is the obvious answer, but I will tell you, this synergy is pre 2000.
The character is pre 2000.
The
So we're
characters that are
going
involved in this are
ancient
pre
based off
2000.
of. Okay.
I'm going to narrow it
I
down
can.
as we go.
Okay. All right. So guys, we're playing a synergy guessing game. You guys are free to be along. I see Booze in the chat, and I see the designers in the chat. Um, so I'm gonna try to answer, and then you
Ooh.
guys can answer as well. So I want to, leave this be immersive as we're doing it live. So I see the designer says Symbiote Supreme with Dormammu and Mephisto.
Did someone look it up?
Yeah, is that like
Because,
looked it
yeah.
up?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they might
yeah.
have.
But
Okay, so let's not do that because like that's
okay.
just gonna ruin
Yeah, I'm gonna let me hide
if
it.
you look it up and then tell everybody.
What I need to do is
Yeah.
what I meant to say is I was gonna say
Like,
it and then hide the chat and
yeah,
then show the answers.
yeah.
I meant to hide it first and then I just read it. But no,
No
Yeah.
problem.
Mephisto was what I was thinking. I wasn't gonna go Dormammu though, but I was gonna say Mephisto.
I mean, I
Yeah,
was.
go
Eh,
ahead.
yeah, I don't know. I was gonna guess Dormammu at some point, but Yeah, I was off by 2 seconds at the very least.
Yeah, I mean it's a really clever synergy name,
Hmm.
and it very much does kind of speak to like who Symbiote Supreme is
Yeah,
and
yeah.
what Mephisto is and what Dormammu is at the core of them. You know, it's I'm a huge fan of all three of those champions, so I actually do really like that synergy and just the thematic of it. It's really fun. All right, guys. So let's try. I had another one really fun one planned out.
Cool. I hit the chat this time. My bad.
All right,
Yeah,
this one is one that I have used quite a few times. So, Believer.
believer.
Okay. Believer.
It's gonna be related to a god, I think.
Uh,
Canonical one.
okay. Well, Believer does. I think of Hulkling first because I know like True Believer because he's got Excelsior the sword. So, but I don't think it's
Not
him.
Hulk.
Yeah, not
No.
Hulkling.
No.
Believer. That does sound
Can I
familiar.
can I ask what pantheon it's related to, if it's related to one?
Yeah, totally. It's a Norse thing.
Yeah.
Norse thing. Okay. So not gonna
You were
be
right with the
Hercules.
goth thing, so that was
Yeah,
right.
yeah. That was gonna be my next.
Believer. Used quite a few times, so not Cole.
I've used it
Hmm.
quite a few times
Oh,
personally.
oh,
Yeah,
oh. Is it Gore?
not Gore.
Really? I really thought it would be Gore.
Odin?
Yeah,
Is it
this is
Odin?
another one that is fairly older to the game.
Okay.
No, it's not.
Older.
It's not Odin.
Oh,
This
oh.
is
Is it Hela? Not Hela.
Angela?
Angela. Yeah.
it's not. Can I give you guys a hint?
All right, let's do it.
So,
Yes.
Believer is it it works into not the main 616 time period. It more is a branch off of a character, future character, and a character that exists in the future, but they're using the more current um, god character for it. And I will give you the god in it. You can tell me who the other one is. It is Thor. Thor is the god character in this. So, who believes in Thor?
Who believes? Is this gonna be one of the future
Oh,
characters?
no.
Hmm.
Future characters. What the hell?
Yep.
Oh, there's two of them. So I'm wondering if it's both 2099 champions, Spider Miguel and what's the name of the Punisher 2099 guy?
There you go. Punisher 2099.
It is him? Really?
It is him.
Okay.
Yeah, because the Punisher 2099 character is, I believe, based off the whole like Thor worship in 2099 period where it's the cult of Thor.
Yeah. Yeah, and design. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
It's a
I
fun one, right?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have gone that route. Like, I definitely was thinking future time. Like, when I think of future, so I think of that young, like, you know, the like female Thor, who's blonde that we don't know, like where she's. I don't know if you remember this, but it was
The
during.
daughter?
Yeah,
Isn't it supposed to be his daughter, more or less?
more or less, because I haven't really said, because I haven't.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what I was thinking, but I was like, Warship, like I don't remember. Like, am I going too far in the future, where it's like Planet
Yeah.
Doom, like,
No, 2099. It's a
yeah.
really fun little synergy, and a little fun throwback. It was actually it's my favorite cat. So like, I've always loved 2099
Mm-hmm.
Punisher, and I mean that's when I was on the old podcast, that was the character I said was my favorite character in the
Mm-hmm.
game. So
Yeah.
besides obviously my Dark Lord. Um, so we will do a fun one here. This one I think is pretty on point with the conversation we are having earlier, but I also think it just kind of is a fun one. Chaotic energy.
Oh, okay. I feel like I know this one.
Yeah, it feels like it's familiar
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
very
yeah.
least.
Chaotic energy. What? This sounds so familiar. Um,
I want to say
Mister
Scarlet Witch.
Scarlet Witch.
Yeah,
This
is
is
one.
this classic
Oh,
or
is
is
it
this?
Vigil Witch?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
This is
classic.
classic. This is classic. Scarlet.
Okay. And
Okay.
and is it who it's with or is it just her?
It's with someone who Who else is chaotic energy?
Yeah, right.
I
Uh,
Okay.
specified that in the way I said it, by the way. Who else is chaotic energy? Not who else has chaotic energy.
yeah. I mean,
I
who is?
want to say Wiccan, but no, I feel like he
This is
uses a
old school.
different
This is old
kind
school
of
synergy.
old
Be
school.
sillier.
Okay.
Think sillier, guys. Think wackier. Think the funnier version of chaotic.
Uh,
I
I
was gonna say
want to
Spider
say
Ham.
Deadpool, but I know that's wrong.
You're close. Which
Yeah,
one did you say? Pin?
yeah. Pin said Deadpool.
I mean,
Oh,
I'll give it to you
uh,
because it's platinum pool.
Really? They have a synergy together?
They have a synergy
as is.
together. What an interesting synergy.
Yeah,
Increases the potency of special surprise card by 30%. But almost nobody really knows any of the synergies. He has such unique synergies.
yeah.
But nobody
Yeah.
really knows them because like you use them for speed running if you use them at all.
Dude.
Um,
I knew because you
this
said we were talking about it earlier, so I figured it had to be Deadpool. But I was like, there's no way they have a synergy together.
yeah, it's a weird one.
That's funny.
This one's
Yeah,
actually
when,
really fun.
ooh,
Civil War stories.
Oh, sh-
Civil War stories.
okay.
It's got to be one of the older characters at the very least. And I mean, like,
Civil War stories. Is it
like,
Civil Warrior? Is it his synergy?
uh,
No, I don't think it would be.
So
I think this is
it's
a tie.
not.
It's a tie. I think it's a tie-in comic, isn't it?
It actually just involves characters that have fought
Oh,
in wars.
yeah.
wait, Civil War
Fought
stories.
for-
Could it
for
be
things
related
that-
to the? Could it be related to the comic event Civil War or
Movie
Civil
event.
War 2?
partially,
Movie event.
Yeah.
partially involved in that. Yeah,
The comic or the movie, or the second one.
the character involved. What the two of the characters involved
Yeah.
are involved in that series. There is a one third character who
Oh,
is
oh.
involved. Who is involved?
Oh.
These are all more like
Is it?
battered warriors who have stories
Yeah,
from
yeah.
their battles fought.
Is it Monica's? Is it Photon's?
Which one?
Photon? Is it her synergy?
It's not. It's two science and a mystic.
A science and a mystic.
Science and
Two science and a mystic, but the two science are basically one guy.
Mystic.
They're the same guy.
Okay.
Just
So
vert.
could it?
Because it's
No,
Captain
no,
America,
yours
right?
is different.
It's Captain
It
America.
is Captain.
Yeah, yeah. I know. Okay, I
Okay,
figured it was Captain
Captain
America.
America. Oh, a
And who's the
mystic.
mystic that he's in the synergy? Who else? This is a nice lore piece of information. Someone who has fought against for the in a civil war against a much more powerful, corrupt governmental figure, powerful leader, a freedom fighter.
And this freedom fighter is a mystic.
Yes.
Interesting.
Uh,
Okay.
Why do I feel like I know this?
I think you do. I can give you one last hint. Can you see my camera?
Hmm.
This should give you the hint.
Okay. And you said mystic.
You see those?
so it's
What are
not
these?
gonna-
What?
Can you only see 3 fingers?
Yeah, 3 fingers. Shoot. Why is only Mangog coming to mind? I know there
Or
should
does he
be
have
another one.
4? I always
Uh,
forget. He has 3. Maybe he
Three
has
or
4.
So is it Longshot?
Yeah.
God damn it! I should have said it,
You
but
said
I can't remember how many
four.
fingers he has because he doesn't have 5. That's the weird thing about him is he
Yeah,
doesn't.
I know that. I forget if he has 4 or I think he has 4. The more
Yeah.
I think
But
about
when
it.
you say 3 fingers, the only character I could think of from the Mystic lineup would be Mangog.
Yeah.
Yeah. He does.
Hey,
Well,
And even then, I
all
had
right,
to
let's
think
do an
Mystic
easy
because
one.
I think
That's
Richard was
right.
4.
College rivals.
college.
Oh,
rivals.
this
Okay.
got to be Doom and Mr. Fantastic.
Doing Mr. Fantastic. You
Easy
got it.
money, easy
Yeah.
money.
Why was I thinking of Silk in that one? Why was I thinking of her?
I mean, she was pretty trying to win stuff.
Yeah, but like, wasn't there a college or university or even high school related synergy that she has?
Yeah, she has the alumni synergy, I think.
Alumni. Okay,
Yeah.
that's
The
close.
Midwest, the Midtown High alumni.
Okay.
Cubicle mates.
Cubicle
Ooh,
mates.
I don't think I know this one. Uh,
So it's
Well, at
a
least we know
double
they're criminals.
science. Double,
Double
double
science.
science.
Double Science, Cubicle Mates, Cubicle Mates.
I want to jokingly say Hulk and Joe Fixit, but
No, I will say both villains.
both villains.
Man, Cubicle.
Both worked for
Oh,
AIM.
oh.
Work for who?
AIM.
AIM. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so
Aim. Okay.
it's gotta be. Is it MODOK and Yellow Jacket?
It's not Yellow Jacket, but you are right with MODOK.
MODOK, yeah, for sure,
This
MODOK.
technically, this person doesn't technically work for AIM. He's a side work for AIM, and they've done stuff to him on top. I think he went there to get cured at times, but I don't know.
Okay, well,
Would
you
it
say
be Mr. Negative? No, that feels wrong.
yeah. I mean, Anti Venom is what I would go, but I don't think it.
No.
Yeah,
Well, it's an anti-venom considered a hero too, technically.
yeah. Is it? You said AIM, Cubicle Mates.
Mm,
You were close though with the Hulk. You're close, but not Hulk. Think
mm,
Is it
Gamma.
Rhino?
No.
Really?
no.
And
Well,
Gamma.
not Spider-Man. Gamma. And he's also science, right?
Yes.
I'm
Well,
thinking
Gamma, yeah.
Immortal Abomination.
I'll give it to you. It's an A-bomb.
Right, classic A bomb.
Oh.
Oh, okay, yeah,
A-bomb.
yeah, that
It
makes
would
sense.
be Emo Blonsky instead of who's the Immortal Abomination?
You know who it is? You should know who it is,
Please.
because I'm the one who canonized it. It's Rick Jones, baby. Oh,
Is it Rick Jones?
yeah. Well, it's the like it's canonized. It's Rick Jones. Immortal. Like, cause remember it used
Rick Jones.
Rick Jones, like
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh.
Both of them are him?
No, not both, but just Immortal.
No, I mean both faces.
Yeah,
Or Rick?
the two faces. Yeah.
I didn't know both faces were the same person. I thought possibly it was like a meldy thing. I haven't read the lore. I love him, but he grosses me out
Yeah.
so much if I look at it too long. Alrighty. So I wanted to touch a little bit about so I had fun. I think this went well. I think we can stretch this out. What do you guys think? Did you like this game?
Yeah, man, I'm down. It's cool
So
it's really cool.
I think we're gonna try doing more rounds in the future. I wanted to touch a little bit because I'm gonna have to get off in a minute, but I wanted to I don't know why, but I have this really bad cough and I hate doing this to everybody. I wanted to ask, I did discuss this a little bit, but we now saw the new Deathless Champ.
Yeah, I wanted to bring that. Oh, wait, before.
Oh. Yeah,
If there's one something you want to talk about, please.
Yeah. I see designers saying Immortal Abomination is just a shell with someone inside. Yeah. So, and you were saying with the two faces. Okay, so it technically is Emil and Rick Jones's face because it's two of them. It's Jones's in the carcass of Emil Blonsky.
Oh, okay.
And that's why. But the model of the game, it's two of the same face, and that's what I meant. But
Okay.
you aren't wrong that it is a husk is what it is. But it used to say General 14, but there was no lore to back it up. Like, it just felt like a mistake because General 14 is like he's a black 5-star general, and he looks like a black 5-star general. He doesn't look like when it was Rick Jones. So like I wanted to make sure with Kabam was like, hey, if this is the lore, this model doesn't match with the lore if you want to go that route. And so they never wrote anything about that. So I was like, well, you don't have to decanonize anything. You just have to recanonize it. It is Rick Jones. So yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
That's
so cool.
On a separate note, when you said you were grossed out, I was just reminded of this meme that I saw in the community around the time of his release of remember that moment in the first Ant-Man movie when Cassie Lang got the bunny?
Yeah. It's so cute.
Ugly, I love him.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
So ugly.
Yeah, I totally get that.
With the synergy between her and Toad in game, because I was like, dude, you could have replaced Toad with Immortal Abomination because that would have worked better considering it was a meme in the MCOC community. This is your community, and you
Yeah,
chose a different champion.
yeah, I can see that. I think also Toad is just the kind of just has to do with like people weirdly like he it's I think it's the same thing because he is so gross, but people still like Toad. Like that's always about
He's
his
cute.
character. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's so, I mean, especially what they did with his character later in the comics.
yeah,
I mean, they took him from being like, I mean, not a good guy, but from to being more sympathetic. But
yeah,
yeah, guys, new Deathless champ.
yeah, man.
It looks like it's the nameless.
Hey, what did I say? I said that the first time, the
Yeah.
first one announced.
So are we gonna get Vision or so are we gonna get Scarlet Witch or Hyperion? You think? Because there's one more.
I mean, we're going based off of this is supposed to be an improvement of a
No,
kit, I want to say, so I'm going to go
no,
with Scarlet Witch.
they're not supposed to be an improvement of the kit. These are
Slightly,
purely trophy champs with slightly altered kits.
Yeah, like it's not like it's a buff. Like it's not like this is like a buffed kit of the original. This is like just an alternate. This is
No.
basically just an alternate, is what it is.
These are more equivalent of a trophy champ than a usable meta champ, although they're good.
Mm-hmm.
So like
yeah, they're
that's
good.
awesome. But they're
Good, and
not
somehow,
going to be the best of the best of the best. They're not supposed to be
no,
because
not relevant
Thanos is the one
better,
that's going to be
like,
meta.
no, I don't mean like meta relevant better, but like better to a degree. Because like Deathless
yeah,
Yeah, I mean that's arguable.
is better than first kit Guillotine, where she doesn't even have the reflect damage thing. Like Deathless Guillotine has the degen and stuff. And Deathless King Groot, he has Incinerate instead of Poison, which
Yeah,
works
Yeah,
better for
which is
I
just
mean,
replacing the original. Like it's just
I mean,
like I said, an alteration.
Guillotine is fantastic though.
Yeah, alteration
She's
that makes
weird.
them slightly better, but not meta relevant better. Unless
OG Guillotine's pretty good.
Yeah, like I said, it's just
I'll
debatable.
argue.
It's not that. It's not that. It's not the intent. It's just if you want to say
Yeah,
it's that way.
depends
Like,
on what you like. Now, in
yeah,
fairness, some of them have more synergy with like relics that have come out and other things that do make them like no argument. I have a 7-star Deathless Guillotine. She racks. She does so much damage so fast. It's
nice.
crazy.
I wish.
yeah,
But
I'm
but
still waiting on her honestly, because well, that's if I
She's
stay
really
long enough. That is.
Oh yeah.
she's really fun. But the fact is, is she better? Maybe. We don't have a 7-star Guillotine to really know. But 6-star Guillotine, rank 5, Ascended, I've seen it. Max Sig, that thing wrecks. The self-healing, the damage, the reverse healing, all of it's really good. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see, and I really wonder because
And I want to
think
add
it
that.
will be Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, and I agree. I wanted to add on that too because Hyperion is a 7-star. Scarlet Witch Classic is not.
No, she is.
Yeah, she is. I was looking through the game and
have
updating
her.
my tier list, my ranking order of champions. And yeah, even though I have her at the bottom of my highlighted actually 7-star
Yeah.
mystics.
She was introduced with
Scarlet-
X Magica.
Of course, I would know
Are-
that.
Yeah,
Okay,
sad.
well then I digress. I digress then.
I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're so close," but no.
I was right just 3 months ago.
Yeah, she showed up as part of Arena Awards and
Okay.
in the crystals and stuff. She was the award that people got for being masters, I believe,
Okay.
getting masters. And then I was lucky enough to pull her from a crystal myself because I'm not
Yeah.
masters.
I
I'm still
thought
thinking,
I thought originally Scarlet Witch because the two we have in game are fine for what it also just depends. Like I think the original Scarlet Witch, someone who was changed with 12.0. So that's obviously
I was gonna say I think that's
yeah.
why too.
I think that's this is kind of a thing like, hey, 12.0 happened. Same with obviously the original, the Guillotine and Deathless Guillotine. Obviously, Deathless is an alteration kit of the previous kit. So there's that to work with. But I also feel like Scarlet Witch is just, when you read her comics and you watch the movie, like, she does, like, I think there is just so much potential they could do with her. And Hyperion, a Superman
Sure.
clone, there's not, like, if they want to, they could, for sure. They
They
could.
also just
But
released Gladiator, so
yeah,
I,
and I think it'd be
between Gladiator and Hyperion
way more
being
interesting with
so
I
Scarlet
good,
Witch.
see. And the thing is, I think wouldn't it be cool if they it's mystic and cosmic already.
Yeah,
We're gonna get a tech.
the only
We're
tech.
debating between a mystic or a cosmic.
Yeah,
there is that.
Maybe we get something different. Maybe it changes
you,
it for
you
the
don't think
last
they
one.
break the pattern for the last one before we get the fifth one?
To ruin it for everybody? Absolutely.
No.
Do I think that they'd laugh about it? Sure. I
No.
think Jax would have the best time announcing that too, being like, haha, you thought you knew what
It's
we were doing, but we
totally what
tricked
they
you.
would do. It's funny, like,
Yeah. Hmm.
they've broken
Yeah,
so
so
many
we're
patterns
basically
recently. Like, I would
Yeah,
not be surprised at all, for sure.
that's what I'm saying. And I think that if we really think about it, there are characters I'm sure we could guess. And I have one that I don't. Okay, bear with me. He's not he's a loved character, but this is not a loved version. But like Gil Thor could be really funny having like Thor Ragnarok come out as like, or like give him an axe, give him the serpent's axe or something like that, and you got like Deathless Thor with like Storm Herald or something like that. Or like I was gonna ask, is there any way? I mean, I don't have all the lore
Hmm.
background of the game like you do, so I was gonna say, have they ever done anything fun with Thor? Because he
The
hasn't been touched a lot
yeah, yeah,
in a
yeah,
long time. I'm just wondering
yeah.
about
mm,
him.
Yeah. Before I get to that, the I see designer in the chat saying who remembers the Deathless being the Infinity Stones. Yeah, the obviously the Nameless are the Death Stone. They're Death Stone copies.
Right?
Thanos
Yeah, yeah.
used they used the Death Stone to make a copy of the Battle Realm, and it made these champions
oh,
copies.
oh,
And then they escaped when we escaped the Death Stone because we entered it to defeat Thanos. Which then we didn't defeat the real Thanos because there was Nameless. But yeah,
so
some lore. I don't think they're gonna break the pattern personally because I think if you weren't gonna do it the second time with King Guru, I don't, and then not the third time, I don't think, and then
Mhm.
obviously we know they won't for the fifth one. I think they're gonna stick true, for sure. But to answer your question about Thor, they haven't done. They did do when we did do the Endgame event. If you guys want to remember, which is funny because we're talking about the Nameless.
Mhm.
We went to alternate
yeah.
versions. We went to alternate timelines, and so there was like Fat Thor. Like that was specifically in the lore. There was Fat Thor, but not
Yeah.
only that, and in Rock there is art of like
Yeah.
full on art of all like Beta Ray Bill, Fat Thor, um, right, Thunderstrike, like yeah, like it's so many
Yeah.
variants, yeah. So they haven't done too much with him, but they've definitely like alluded to that they wanted to grow
Okay.
the
I just
Thor.
think all the characters they could do so many different concepts of like the different classes. But I mean, keeping it to a mystic and cosmic kind of makes sense. They are the most attached to those stories,
Yeah.
and the most cosmic slash universal power is the cosmic and the universal, literally. So are the cosmic and mystic, literally. So yeah, it's just an interesting idea. I would love to see. Personally, I know many people want to see that Scarlet Witch. I
No.
just think it would be interesting to see what they could
Oh,
do
okay.
with Karen.
My mind went to the ultimate one. The one of
Oh
the
yeah.
game files is like, please no.
Oh no.
Oh
I
God,
mean,
no.
as long as they don't introduce her brother, I'm fine with that.
Oh
On that
no.
note, Tillman, I'm gonna have to bounce for the night. It
All
was
right,
a
man.
great time talking to
Yep.
everybody, but I am slowly getting sick, I think. So
Yeah, man.
have
No
a
worries.
wonderful evening, everybody. And I will talk to you
Yep.
soon.
Yeah, man. Enjoy.
Bye.
Goodbye now.
Bye.
Bye.